Welcome to our RSA animation, mainly based on the book Things Fall Apart, Bridge 176 to 177 by Chinua Achebe. It all started when the white man arrived in a village in Africa.
When Mr. Brown arrived in the village, he was well dressed with a suit that represents Western culture and a cowboy hat. He looks kind, friendly, and made his way to meet Okonkwo, the main character of the book, that welcomed him and questioned his presence. Okonkwo said, "Hello, welcome to Africa. This is Umofina village. Can I please stay here for a few days?" said Mr. Brown. Both characters had good impressions of each other. Okonkwo thinks that Mr. Brown is nice and polite, and Mr. Brown thinks Okonkwo is very welcoming. Okonkwo agreed to let him stay for a few days. They didn't know what he was getting into.
Before Mr. Brown came, everybody of every age, race, and religion come together as one in the village of Umuofia. People don't disagree with each other. For example, one of the men said, "Our village is awesome. We all have the same opinion about everything." And the other would reply, "Yes, we are all brothers." However, this was before Mr. Brown's arrival. After staying in the village for quite some time, Mr. Brown thought that it was a chance to share about Christianity. His arrival affected very much in how the community accepts each other and belief in common faith. As demonstrated in the earlier conversation between the two African men, he started getting many locals to listen to him about what he represents, Christianity. As days go by, number of the listeners grow and grow. Many actually listens and agrees to Christianity. This was the beginning of his betrayal to Okonkwo, who was the one who willingly gave him the permission to stay in the village.
The effect of Mr. Brown's sharing and spreading of Christianity is demonstrated in the next conversation between two of the same African men. Only one of them had listened to what Mr. Brown said about Christianity and Western influence. The first man said, "Our culture is awesome. I love our village." However, the other one responded by saying that actually Christianity is a good solution to some of our cultural problems, and now promotes Christianity like Mr. Brown did. This scene clearly explains the metaphor: he has put a knife on the things that held us together, and we have fallen apart. The spreading of Christianity and the culture of the European men was the cause of broken bond between villagers. Knife was used to symbolize the culture and the white man and Christianity, which was the cause of some villagers no longer agreeing to each other and were subconsciously taken away by the Christians.
If we should try to drive out the white man in Umofia, we should find it easy. That was what Okonkwo ironically said about the European. But of course, it is not. As you can see, the villagers in his head thought that if the white man were to leave the Christianity marked in the village, it is for sure that Some of the villagers, including Okonkwo's own son, would go together with him. Locust, mentioned in chapter 7 of the book, is a symbolism of the forthcoming of European into the village. Locust comes once in a long time. Just like the European, locusts seem to be harmless to the crops. Instead, they're good to eat. But after time passed by, you would begin to observe that they are actually really bad for the crops. Just like how the Europeans seemed to be friendly at first, but they tried to turn villagers against their own culture and be a part of the white government.
Next literary device is symbolism. Symbolism is used in this extract to represent a conversation of two African men that says one of them says, "Our culture is awesome." Culture symbolizes everything that they agree in. However, on the other side, culture also symbolizes things they do not agree anymore because of what Mr. Brown has said. As rethinking about the religion, culture, and belief.